Hey everybody, good morning on this beautiful autumnal 2024 morning. The sun's shining, it's a bit chilly, hence why I've got the Kai's jacket on, the Kai's heated jacket. And today what we're going to do is talk about the Scrambler 400X and a ride that the most critical rider in the UK had on this particular bike. I'm going to give you an overview of what he thought. Mark, the critic of the UK when it comes to motorcycles, what did he really think about the 400X? Let's go. Okay, visor down so you can hear me hopefully. What did Mark say? So, I met Mark in Ashbourne in Derbyshire. He came on his street triple 675 2010, absolutely immaculate condition, 19,000 miles. He looks after his bikes meticulously. He's also got a Triumph Tiger 800, which he got at a great price earlier this year, and we went on that Triumph. He went on that Triumph 800 to Austria with me when I went to Austria on the Triumph T120. He's been riding all his life like I have. He's had things like RD 400s with water cooling. Yeah, remember the days back then in the 80s when they used to race them or whatever, 70s and 80s. He's a very experienced rider and he's a real critic. He is a real critic. Anyway, let's get to the point. So, met him at Ashbourne. He took the 400X from Ashbourne for a ride. Now, normally when I hand him a bike, he normally has 5 or 10 minutes and then we swap back. He then goes back to his bike. In this case, it was the Street Triple. So, sure enough, we went for a ride. And 10 minutes later, he stopped. We had a little chat about it, and he was quite happy. And I'm expecting to take the 400X. And he gets back on the 400X and continues riding it for the next half an hour, taking it off to the country roads where it's all dirty and muddy. And he's having a great time, and I'm taking my time on his immaculate Street Triple through the mud. Oops, I've got my indicator on. He's having a great time. Anyway, we stopped and filled it with fuel, and he continued again on the 400X, and then, you know, a bit more riding, and we stopped and had a really good chat. And he was saying, for the price point of some £5,700, £5,800, he couldn't believe how good the bike was, the Triumph Scrambler 400X. He couldn't believe that overall, the quality of the bike was absolutely wonderful. The suspension, the linear power that is offered from the linear controlled power that's offered from the engine, the amount of power that's offered from the engine, 40 horsepower, the handling, The tyres, which are the standard tyres on this bike, I haven't changed the tyres yet. So I haven't changed the tyres yet. Here we go. Oh God, I'm in the wrong gear. Here we go. And the comfort, he said the comfort was fantastic. The positioning of the handlebars, that was fantastic. The sound of the note of the exhaust, absolutely wonderful for a single, absolutely wonderful. Anyway, I could see this glint in his eye, and I said to him, I said, "Are you thinking about buying one?" And he seriously is. He said he knew the bike would be good. It's Triumph. I know it's made by Baja and all that. He said, but it's Triumph. Triumph hold the quality assurance on the bike. He said, but it is Triumph. He said he knew it would be good. He said, but he didn't think it would be this good for £5,700. Admittedly, the suspension is only adjustable on the rear. But he said, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. He couldn't believe it. And he said, for £5,700, you're getting a great bike. Hopefully he'll not come out. There we are. For £5,700, £800 is it now? 5,800 in October 2024. He said he couldn't believe that you were getting such a good bike for that price. Relative to what else is on the market in the competition, such as the Royal Enfield Guerrilla, which is much heavier. The Fantic 500, all those are the bikes. He couldn't believe how good this was, and he did say it was incredibly light and incredibly flickable. Oh, shit on the road. And that's quite reassuring. Mark is usually really critical, but dumbfounded is the word. He really struggled to find anything wrong with it. Now remember, this has got the 15-tooth sprocket on the front. I think if he'd have got the 14-tooth sprocket on the front, he'd have had something to say about it that was a bit negative. But because it's got the 15-tooth sprocket on the front, the issues with running out of steam in the first 3 gears dissipates and goes away. So if you're thinking about getting a Scrambler, or you've got a Scrambler 400 and you've not swapped the front sprocket to a 15-tooth, maybe this is the time that you want to consider it. Dumbfounded is the word. He couldn't believe you get this much for £5,700 or whatever it is today. Absolutely wonderful. So I was really pleased about that. I was really pleased that he thought it was a great bike. Now, if he thinks it's a great bike, then rest assured, and make no mistake, it's a great bike. Let's go up this way. Because there's nothing worse than trying to satisfy Mark. Mark is one of the guys, there's Mark and Charlie that I go with abroad. Mark and Charlie, great buddies, but Mark is really, he really goes by the rule book. He really goes by how it should be. And he says exactly what he thinks. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. What I'm saying is that this is how he thinks. Barlaston. And look at this beautiful countryside. Wow. Amazing countryside that we have up north. Absolutely amazing countryside. Anyway, so Mark's a real critic. If it's not perfect, my God, he will pounce on it and he'll tell you exactly what he thinks. But he was absolutely dumbfounded by this bike based on the price point. He knew it was going to be good, but he didn't think it was going to be this good. And now he's thinking he's got to have one. Now, I know the second-hand market, I was having a look the other day, 1,000, 2,000 miles on the bike, you can get them now for 4,700. Obviously, we're going into the winter period, where the prices do come down, and the prices of motorcycles and other vehicles is now correcting itself from the stupidity of 2020 onwards. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So if you're looking at getting a second-hand one, which will probably be less than a year old, it will be less than a year old. If been out less than a year, you'll be able to get one for 4,700. I was having a look the other day on Marketplace and eBay, and they are there for 4,700. It's just a thought. By the way, if you've got this far, please subscribe and please give a like if you're finding the content useful and reassuring. Should you be thinking about buying a 400X, which is, from my perspective, this is a great bike. I've had this now for what, 2 months, 3 months maybe, 2 months, something like that, and it's been brilliant. No issues at all. I know I've got to get a spare key, and I'm sorting this out today. That's why I'm riding the bike. So I just thought I'd let you know what Mark the Critic, it sounds like something from the bloody 12th century, but he is a hell of a critic. In a positive way. Yeah? I'm not sure where I'm going here. Is there anything behind me? No. Let's go straight on. Not sure where this takes me. But yeah, Mark the Critic, he gives it a big thumbs up, and to such an extent that he's now trying to wonder if a third bike, another winter hike, would be a good idea. Now, he's got his Street Triple 675, that won't be a winter hike. It's just too good a bike. Regardless of how much you think it's worth, probably 2,000, 2,500. But it's such a good bike. He won't use that as a winter hike. He's got the Tiger 800, which he could use through the winter, but based on the icy roads, he may have a bit of a concern on that, and that really is his touring bike. So he doesn't want to risk that. Doesn't want to risk not touring in the spring and summer months. And so you never know, he may end up getting a 400X, possibly second hand. There you go. I hope you found this video useful, and if you're thinking about buying one, or you've already just bought one and you're not sure if it's any good, then hopefully it gives you some reassurance that the Triumph Scrambler 400X is a wonderful bike based on the experience of Mark the Critic from the 12th century. I hope you enjoyed the video. Ride safely. Be kind to everyone. Strange world at the moment. Strange world. But do be kind. And I'll see you very soon. Don't forget to eat healthily. You don't want to be where I am. I'll see you very soon, yeah? Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.